Okay, good afternoon. So first of all, I would like to begin by thanking the Netherlands-Portugal Chamber of Commerce and the industry for inviting me for this presentation. I would like to thank Marisa and Dirk for their kindness and the opportunity. My name is Vitor Camilo. I'm a Portuguese and Angolan citizen. I'm here to talk about Angola, a country that belongs to the community of Portuguese-speaking countries, with huge opportunities for generating business between the Netherlands, Portugal, and also, of course, Angola. So, first of all, the main focus is to talk a little bit about the foreign direct investment that the country Angola needs at the moment as part of his governmental strategy. And let's take a look what's in it in Angola for Netherlands and of course for Portugal. But in this particular presentation, I will try to address more the Netherlands perspective. So this is the index of the presentation, and going through. First of all, I'm representing here a company that we have in Angola named Solid Trust. Solid Trust, basically, and to resume as much as possible, is a company that works in the field of the economic diplomacy. So basically, we are in Angola, we are based in Angola, we work there, we know the rules, we know the law, we know the taxes, we know the people, we know the country. So we are able, of course, to build bridges between people in both sides and try to address as much as possible the opportunities we have down there. Okay. So Angola at a glance. Basically, for the ones that are not very familiar with Angola, because Angola is not a very, I will say, a country that comes on the news very frequently. So let's take a look. Basically, Angola is a surface of 1,246,000 square kilometers, roughly 30 times the surface of Netherlands, and 14 times the surface of Portugal, just to have in perspective. So we can put 30 Netherlands inside this country. It's one of the biggest countries in Africa. Roughly, we have there 28 million, 30 million inhabitants, and roughly 28.5 inhabitants per square kilometer. It's very important also the coast, Atlantic coast. We have 1,650 kilometers of coast, a very smooth and mild sea there, with a lot of opportunities on fisheries, aquaculture, a lot of activities we can do there. Besides the one that we actually pursue at the moment, that is the oil extraction on offshore operations. The land borders, we're talking about almost 5,000 kilometers. Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Zambia and Namibia. So we do borders with those countries. Okay. So the division, the administrative division of the country is divided in 18 provinces. Let me say to you that the biggest one is this one, Moxico, on the eastern part. Moxico have a size of roughly, let's say, 6 Netherlands, or 2.3 times the size of Portugal. And most of the country, 65% of the territory, is in a plateau, where the average high is between 1,000 and 1,600 meters. So basically, all the provinces on the eastern part, starting from Wish, Kwanza North, Wambo, Willa, Kunen to the east, are at this level of time. So the currency is Kwanza, is we speak Portuguese down there due to this history. The weather is divided between two seasons. So the dry season and the rain season. So the rain season starts in September to May, and the other months are the dry season between May and September. In the dry season, we have clouds, but do not rain. That's we call it in Portuguese cacimbo. So the potential. The potential. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the population. At the moment, we are around 30 something million, so 35 million. And we estimate on 2050, 68 million people in the country. Most of these people, and you can see here the division between ages, most of it are in the range behind the 20-year-old. That is represents roughly more than 50% of the population. A lot of agriculture and forestry potential, more than 50 million acres of arable land. Fishery and agriculture, I have already talked. Mineral resources, a lot of potential here. A lot of identified mines where we can mine a lot of raw materials, including, of course, oil, gas, diamonds, phosphates, a lot of iron, copper, gold. Some of them, of course, are picking the high potential in the stock market. So a lot of opportunities for companies that would like to mine in Angola. It's very important to connect, of course, with the agriculture and forestry, the potential of water, the fresh water in Angola. So the main river is Kwanza, and it's roughly 1,000 kilometers long, but we can navigate in 240 kilometers. It's very important to say that we are the second country in Africa with most fresh water available. So there's a lot of rain on the north, a little bit dry in the south, but the rivers, some of the rivers are coming from north to south, and we can have water mostly on every part of the country, except some specific parts on the south that is a little bit like a desert. So in the last couple of months, let's say, so roughly in the end of 2023, the government releases what we call the ELP, a long-term strategy, that is Angola 2050. It's very important for people that may be interested in evaluate Angola as the destination of direct investment. It's important to know that there are two main strategic documents that we need to understand quite well in order to navigate on the country smoothly. So first of all, this is the most important document, so it's the long-term strategy. And so from now to 2050, where roughly 25 years, we will have 5 new documents that are going to commit the country from 5 to 5 years. Okay, I will explain a little bit later. So this document talks a little bit about the diversification of the economy. So we still are a country that basically produces oil, and we intend to be a country that, of course, explores all the potential of the country, mainly on the agriculture, fisheries, extraction of raw materials, etc. we are the country is also keen to develop the infrastructure side, and basically the education training and the capital human valuation, because the thing is, there's a huge opportunity with young people available to work. So this is a very important key point. And then we are one maybe 10 years ago, the state of green in Europe, that is Denmark, have identified the potential of Angola as the state of green in Africa. So the capability of have a lot of energy sources, clean energy sources that we have available on the country. And of course, to do all this, we need political stability, social stability. That is something that we really have starting from 2002, after the war stopped. So, of course, there are social issues, there are, I will say, economic issues, but of course, that's the reason why we are trying to identify partnerships with other countries that can come to Angola, work there, exploit the potential, and of course give in return jobs to the people, and promote, of course, the life improvement on the people. So looking the main chart that I would like to demonstrate to you is this one. So basically the GDP of Angola is going to be promoted, multiplied 2.4 times between 2022 2050. Okay, but the most important ratio is the annual IDE, that is the external direct investment, will need to be multiplied 5.5 times, and will represent 33 billion US dollars in 2050. This is very important, again, for us, and it's why Solid Trust and myself, we are trying to do as much as our work in order to contact countries, people, officials, to give the comfort that Angola is now a very good country to invest, and of course helping the ventures to progress smoothly. Okay, so after explaining you what is the long-term strategy for the country, we have now the national development plan for the 5 years between 2023 and 2027. Okay, so it's another document, more detailed than the first one. Here we have now some commitments. We would like to address some commitments. This is a governmental document that is the key for all the players work in Angola. Is divided in 7 axes. And of course, the first one is consolidating peace and the democratic rule of law, of course. The number 2, promoting the balance of Muslim development of the territory, because there's a lot of pressure in the big cities, 2 main cities, and then the country is quite desert in terms of population. This is number 3, promoting the development of human capital, expanding access to health services and knowledge of technical and scientific skills. So promoting the youth as a key factor of development on the country. The number 4, reducing social inequalities. This is basically what we would like to experience with the coming of direct investment, external direct investment. Give the comfort to people to take land, to use the land. The land is available. There's a lot of available land. Some infrastructure already done. And again, if somebody would like to access to land to produce something, to transform something, or to bring raw materials abroad, this is the time for it to identify lots of big farms. And when we talk about a normal farm in Angola, we're talking about between 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 acres each of these farms. Number 5, so modernizing and making the country infrastructure more efficient, and of course respecting the environment. Number 6, the private sector will need to take his part in order to give us a food security on the country. So a little bit stop importation, start to produce there, and restart the exportations. And of course, the number 7 is about the defense of sovereignty and of course, promoting Angola as a key player on the region. So the foreign and direct investment is quite important. So as you can see here in this chapter, sorry because it's in Portuguese, but it's directly from the documents. So what we can see here is that during the last 5 years, or 5 to 6 years, we have identified that almost per year on 2018 and 2019, we had $500 million to $1 billion US dollars in foreign direct investment in the sector, non-petroleum. And in petroleum, we have like 7 to 10 billion each year. What we saw is that, of course, due to COVID, we have a drop on the direct investment and in the foreign direct investment in oil. It is stabilized now again a little bit, but of course the numbers for other foreign direct investment in areas non-petroleum is really decreasing. So this should be our concern. Give the comfort to people to study Angola, to evaluate how people can get his tech from Angola. There's a lot of people trying to do it, mainly the Chinese, as you can imagine. So the Americans have also their own interest to protect. But I think that the European Union and the countries belonging to the European Union should, of course, take a more detailed look to those countries, mainly Angola, to search and to check if could be a good destination for the foreign direct investment. There's a lot of measures that the government is coming to the floor in order to promote to stimulate the economy. Of course, here are a lot of internal programs. One of the programs is this one. The first one is ProPriv, that is the privatization program. So Angola is a country that, due to its history, has a lot of public companies that have been operating actively on the market. But of course, now the government wants to promote a more efficient market with all the operators, private operators coming to the floor. And due to that, there's a lot of privatizations ongoing to promote these companies as now in the new economy. So the other ones are mostly programs to promote the investment, internal investment, and to give opportunity to small and medium companies to start their operations on the market with some financing coming from the oil sector. So the collected taxes from the oil, in order to do the diversification of the economy. In terms of business environment, of course, there was a lot of things doing in Angola in the last, I will say, 2 to 3 years. The president have been very keen to address these issues because, of course, we know that a foreigner only put his money and come to Angola if there's a lot of small things are already addressed. Otherwise, it will be risk on top of the risk, and of course, with too much risk, the investors will not come. So basically, there's here. I will leave the presentation to you. There's a lot of specific acts, like the improving of access to credit internally, reducing the weight of state in the economy, of course, the reviewed insolvency processes, the registrations, simplifying, for example, the tax systems is something that is ongoing also. The company incorporation, one-stop shop for companies, reducing the bureaucracy. All this is coming. It's coming, of course. It's Africa, it's Angola, young country in terms of this kind of solutions, but it's coming. And well, I will admit that the ones that will step now will gain a lot of opportunities on the market. So in terms of competitiveness, the most recent is that we are the 136th country in the Global Competitiveness Index, and the aim is to score on top of 80 by 2050. So there's a huge road to do, but again, if it was already sold, the opportunities will not be so good. Why now? Why now? The thing is, we identify really the environment to do business in Angola is way better than, let's say, 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, corruption could be an issue. The time to get permits could be an issue. It's still an issue, but much better now, much better. And of course, my advice is that everyone that would like to think and invest in Angola should identify the correct partners, people that really engage, serious people, knowing about the country and knowing about the law, and of course try to avoid all the the ways, the shortcuts that in the end will still bring risk to operations. Okay. So what are the agencies that we have to boost FDI? So basically, there's an agency that is IEPEX, Angola Private Investment and Export Promotion. What this agency is capable is they will protect the investors. They will attract, they will help the investor in terms of navigate inside of the, let's say, bureaucracy, and at the same time will protect the investor in terms of return of gains to their own land. This is very important, of course. If you have a venture there, you win your money, you pay your taxes, then you can repatriate your gains, your revenues out of the country. And this agency is pretty much the agency that have this responsibility. All the direct investment should be registered in this agency, and they will allocate resources, people, to help the investor. Then we have the BDA, the Angolan Development Bank. It's very important. It's one of the instruments that the government have to boost the FDI. They are now, after they developed the strategy for 2023 up to 27, they identify the diversification of funding as a key aspect in their activity, and they will go for sure to contact development banks in other countries, like in Europe, and to identify how it will be possible to manage to get some funding to redistribute in Angola to specific entrepreneurs in order to develop it at small and medium size companies to explore a lot of potential opportunities. For example, let me say, at the moment, cocoa is scoring the highest in for long term. Coffee is also good. So there's a lot of plantations to do in the meantime to address these issues. And with the increase of population, everything will need to be done in Angola. Is a lot of industrialization, etc., to be abroad. So BDA could be a partner to work with banks of the entrepreneurs, for example, with banks in Netherlands, where so if some entrepreneur in Netherlands would like to go and farm in Angola, will be protected by a bank, and this bank will also at the same time could help financing some operations of others in the supply chain to accommodate the needs of the Dutch entrepreneurs. So this is something that we are really interested in developed as a company with the government. So there are also the several special economic zones. They are operating with specific taxations facilities. There are good opportunities in terms of what is the counterparts that they can give to the investor in order to establish himself in the country. Okay, and then of course to vary the Capital Market Commission and the National Bank of Angola that are regulators of the financial activities there. So from Netherlands, I will understand, or we understand that so multinational companies will be on the front of this evaluation. I will understand that are looking companies that are looking to expand their business into emerging markets, Africa, of course, and for example, agriculture, energy, and technology could be really a very nice aspect to go there. Entrepreneurs and startups. So Netherlands have this startup culture. So we think that some of these startups can really address the opportunities in these vast lands of Africa. As now is the countries are more connected every day. The importation of goods, the development of new products for pharmaceutical products, for whatever investigation we need to do there. So agribusiness company, we know that Netherlands is the country in the world that produces more food per acre. So we salute that, and of course we identify the Dutch farmers as really I would say quite active people doing their job with the land. And I think that we identify how can it be if these people have access to more land to produce more and diversified products because of the climate aspects of Angola. We have a tropical area on the north where we can produce. We used to be in 1975. We used to be the fourth producer of coffee in the world. Good coffee. There's a huge opportunity to rebuild this sector besides a lot of them, coconut oils, every aspects of the um, tropical farming. And of course, financial institutions that can bring to Africa new ways of doing this business in terms of financial institutions. Venture capitalists and investment funds that, okay, let's invest in Africa, let's produce something there, let's bring activities on mining, for example. There's a lot of reserves mining to be exploited. Not only Angola is quite known on the diamond sector, but we have far more opportunities rather than diamonds, of course. Renewable energy, not only hydro, we have hydro, solar, and wind, specific maps for this. So it's good. And by the way, we are on top of South Africa, that you may know that is it's always in lack of energy produced, basically with renewables. South Africa is now producing much more with coal power plants, and reactivated due to the shortage of energy that you know. And we are the north neighbors that we are able to produce more energy and to export this energy to other parts of Africa that need also this energy. Okay, so we identify a lot of big companies that, of course, are always active, and big companies from Netherlands, and other potential cooperation. So bilateral cooperation, Fund for International Development (FMO), that could be again the development bank, to identify how we can cooperate with the BDA, Banco de Desenvolvimento de Angola, that is the Development Bank of Angola, and try to bring projects that accommodate the interests of the entrepreneurs of Netherlands, also with the Angolan ones. The Trade and Investment Cooperation Scheme, so CBI, it's a program of Netherlands to support economic integration and trade development in developing countries. That is the case of Africa. A Water Cooperation Program, Dutch Foundation for International Cooperation in Higher Education, Netherlands Enterprise Agency, RVO. So, of course, how can Solid Trust help? This presentation is not only about the Solid Trust. So I'm talking as an Angolan that would like to witness the coming of a lot of investors to this big country. If somebody visits the country, mainly the internal part, not on the seaside, but in the internal part, the potential is something that you see. You only need to open your eyes. It's nothing more that you need. Nevertheless, we can help because we know the culture, we know the country. We can be the GPS, the navigating system of somebody that really have interested to come to the country in order to promote an activity. Of course, I stress again, the most important in my perspective is to come to farm, to do land, to produce something, to put trees, to produce fruits, passion fruits, avocados, mangoes. There's a lot of opportunity there. There's water. Okay. So we can prepare strategic plans. We can produce business plans. We can do surveys. We can give information, the correct information, to the entrepreneurs in order to help them to navigate in this beautiful country. So for my part, it's all. My contacts are in the presentation. If there is anybody that knows somebody that would like to try to understand a little bit more about Angola, we can inclusively give some training on that, and to prepare a package of services to bring that information as more detailed as we can bring. Thank you very much for your time. Till bye.